Today I'm going to show you the best weather app you could get. This bubble here has all these weather apps that I have. You can see AccuWeather and MyRadar and all these different ones. You can see there's even more here. I have the Apple Weather here and the right here, and some other funny ones, WeatherBug. But the best one is WeatherMate. And the reason why I have so many different weather apps is because everything is a little bit different. Some show more details, some show less details. But the one that shows the best ones and the most accurate weather is WeatherMate, and that's this app right here. You can see it's set for Palm Beach Shores, Florida. And this is a place I lived at one point. And it shows the temperature, the weather, the high and the low, the wind speed, and if you click on it, the wind gust, if it has any, but it doesn't have any right now. You got the time and the feels like. And then you have these details down here, the precipitation percent, and then rain rate, rain today, but there's been none. The visibility, humidity, pressure, and it's going down. Cloud cover percentage, wind chill, heat index, dew point. Then you go to the next page, and then there's the UV index, which is low. Rain in the last hour, nothing. Last 6 hours, last 24 hours. Snow in the last hour, last 6 hours, last 24 hours. The sunrise, sunset, moonrise, moonset, the moon age, moon illumination percent, and then the waning crescent is what it is. And then if you go down, it has the forecast for today, and then the amount of rain we should get, and humidity average, precipitation average, and then the description for day and night. And it goes all the way up to, it has a 10-day forecast. So it goes all the way down to, for like today's March 15th, so it goes to the March 29th. And of course, the more further out, the less accurate it is, but this is the most accurate. And at the top, you see it says RIP current statement, so it will show the weather statements. But that's the first part of it. If we go to the second part of it, you click the three dots, you have the weather station, the weather history, weather source, you can announce the weather, screenshot, air quality, almanac, US radio, and then weather graphs. So here's the air quality, and it shows 13 out of 500, which is good. 13 to 50 is good, or 0 to 50 is good. 51 of 100 is moderate. 101 to 150 is unhealthy for sensitive groups. 151 to 200 is unhealthy. 201 to 300 is very unhealthy, and 301 to 500 is hazardous. And it has the hourly forecast. I'm scrolling fast. And it has the days. And it shows the pollutant types and health recommendations, and it shows history. You can even go to daily, or you could look at the PM particulate matter 2.5, which is different. And you got a map here. So it's pretty cool. And then you have the weather history you could look at. That's for July 8th, 2025. We'll go to today. It's 2:30 in the morning, or 2:30 at night. You can hear the clock in my room. What is today? March 15th. There we go. Now it shows the average and humidity and precipitation and pressure and wind speed. And it shows the times for all of that. And you can scroll to any day. That's today so far. Oops, I'm so sorry. Hitting too many buttons. Okay. So not only do we have that, but if you go to this button here, it's a radar. And you can see it's the map, the future and past, and I have it set to go back the last 6 hours. You can see there's snow up here, the pink is sleet, and then the purple is freezing rain. It says on the key that that's not true, but trust me, it is. Just from experience. I don't know why it's not accurate, but this is the key right here. You can scroll back when it loads to the last, up to 8:30 last night. It's in military time, so excuse that, 24-hour time. But 2030 is 8:30, and then it goes all the way to here. So you can see the dark blues are heavy snow, light blue is light snow. You got the red, which is heavy rain. And then if you go to this square stack, you could go to other stuff. So I have the radar set, which 6 hours. You could change it to 3 or whatever, but I have it at 6. And then you go to here, the stuff I usually have selected. You can select all of these if you wanted, but I usually have the storms tracks, severe weather alerts, the weather fronts, the wind stream, and the lightning and the earthquakes. I always have all those selected. The severe weather alerts, you click on it, you can have every single one. And sometimes in the summertime I'll take the tropical off because they take up a lot of space. But other than that, we're good. And I'll take the winter ones off too. In the summer. And then we have the weather fronts, which I have these in there. The wind stream, which you could do lines or arrows. I have it set to arrows. And you could do the surface, or you could do the jet stream, or whichever, high in the sky. And then the line color, you could do one line color, you could do auto, and it will do depending on the temperature. And then the lightning, which I have, and then earthquakes. You could do big ones or whichever you would like. And then past hour, past day, past week, or past month, I have past day. And so now I'll show everything. And you can see there's some earthquakes here. You can click on it. It was a 1.9 that happened last night at 11:13 p.m. And it was a 1.9. There's different colors. There's a lot of dark blues. 3.5. The yellows are bigger. They're yellow's 3.5. So I'll show you the key. So now it has more stuff. So there's the storm tracks. Here's the severe weather alerts. Here's the weather fronts. Here's the wind stream arrows. And the colors depending on the temperature. And then here's the earthquakes. So 7 or more is a really powerful one, and those are dark red. Don't see those too often, but they do happen time to time. And then so you can see a cold front is the blue here. We got some wind alerts, high wind warnings in Utah. We got snow in Colorado and high wind warnings. You can see, and lots of warnings everywhere. Now you got the lightning strikes here, which is actually cool. That's freezing rain with lightning, so that'd be not thunder snow, but freezing rain. Now here's some thunder snow, and you click on the lightning strike, and it shows amplitude -4 and the time it happened. -4 is like, I think, sky lightning. So I think if it's a positive number, it touched the ground. I might be wrong. So -39 is pretty powerful. Where was it? Well, there's a -9 there. -7, but I've seen a 100 before. There's a +5. So that's up to ground when there's a +4, -13. There's a couple over here, -9, -9 also. So there's a lot of lightning strikes here. And of course you go like places in the ocean. There's a +2. Here's some earthquakes here. 5.3 and a 4.8. And so you have all these features here. You can look all over the world, and you hit the future radar, it'll show the radar all over the world. It's not as detailed as the past radar, but it still shows everything. Kind of cool to see. And so you can see all of that cool stuff. And then even more you can do, you can take the radar off, you can do the temperature. So now we have the temperature going, lots of colors and whatnot. You go to the key, and there's the temperature at the very bottom. So it's pretty cool. And then if you even go to the HD satellite GeoES 16, you have the infrared, water vapor, visible. We'll start with visible. That's like what the clouds look like from an actual satellite. So at nighttime you won't see much. But if you go to a daytime, which, let's see, I don't know. It goes up to most of the world, but it goes up to here. You can see some clouds. Let's see if I can find some better ones. It's kind of only this part of the world. But you can see the day and night line move. As you can see, it moved in the last hour. It only goes back in the last hour. You can see there's like mostly clouds, but you can see the shapes in them. It's really cool. Or you could even do the infrared. And then here's the key for that. So visible, black is low and white is high clouds. Infrared, well, we'll get to that one, but the water vapor is the one I'm on now, I think. Let me see. Nope, I'm on infrared. Infrared, pink is high, black is low. You can see all the different colors. These are good for tongue. Good high thunderstorms because they get really tall clouds. You can see right here, it's really tall clouds because it's white. And there's even some pink there. And then water vapor is dry is orange, and then wet is green and gray, which I'll show you that. There's the water vapor. It's loading. There we go. As you can see. But I usually just keep it on the radar. You could even see other stuff, but I'll usually just keep it on the radar. And you can even get weather stations enabled too. That will fill your screen up a lot, as you can see. You can see they're all over the place. These are personal weather stations too. So some of them could be inaccurate. Like you may see, like you can see some really cold ones, but you might see like a really hot one in Canada or whatever. Like everything's negative 20 degrees, but you might see like a 100 degrees or something. Could be because it's malfunctioning. But here's the key for the weather stations. So the temperature is at the top here. And you have the wind speed, and then the precipitation, the dew point, and then the heat index. So you could change them. I have them set to heat index pressure. You could just do regular temperature, and it'll look like this, as you can see. Or you could do the dew point and humidity, and it'll show the dew point color depending on the temperature. Or you could do the wind speed and wind gust direction. You can see. Or you could do the precipitation, and it shows all that for the day. Most of them are at 0. You can see, here, there's some picking up. I usually, if I have it enabled, I'll usually just keep it on heat index and pressure, which is this one. But yeah, no, this is like a really good app, and it shows tons of good stuff. You have other apps that are good, but not as good. My Radar is another really good app, which I'll get to some other time, but this is the one I wanted to tell people, because people tell me, they're like, this app it says the weather is going to be sunny today, but it started raining. But one thing about in this app here is the most accurate, but it's not going to be 100%. we have a lot of stuff going on in the world, and climate change is causing the jet stream to go all wonky. And so in the spring and summer is when we're supposed to have all these fronts going from up and down like a roller coaster. That's why it gets cold then warm, cold then warm. And the summer and winter is when it evens out, and it's warm in the summer and stays warm, and then the winter stays cold. But now that the jet stream's all messed up all year round, we've been getting really cold in the winter and really warm in the winter, so we have all these above average temperatures and a lot of below average temperatures all year round. And then that's making it harder to predict the weather no matter what app you're using. So basically, but out of all the apps, this is the best one, and I just wanted to show that. And you can get all these different locations on here too. Like I have Cynthiana, Kentucky, Anchorage, Alaska, all these different ones. And if there's precipitation, it will show below the time. But anyway, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed.